gonna start in a seated position here on your mat let's start first with one bent knee. We're gonna keep the left leg bent and the right leg is gonna straighten out nice and long here on your mat. And we're gonna pull the top of that right foot back towards the shin to stretch up the back of the leg. When you're sitting nice and tall, you want to make sure that you're right on top of your sit bones, that the pelvis isn't tucked under, that you've got a nice long spine position. And then we'll point the toe and then dorsiflex. Pull the top of the foot back towards the shin to feel that stretch. Come all the way up the back of the leg. The more that you can extend the spine and lengthen the back as you drop the shoulders, the more you can isolate that stretch up the back of that right leg. Drawing the foot back towards the shin and then point the toe. We'll do two more on this right side. Flex, drawing the top of the foot back towards the shin, towards the knee, and then point. Last one. Sitting up nice and tall, stretching long. Be mindful of the rib flare. We want to co-contract abdominals and back extensors to hold that nice posture position of the spine. And we'll change legs. We'll bend that right knee, extend and straighten that left leg out nice and long. Lengthen the spine, and we're going to flex at the ankle, pull the top of the foot back towards the shin, and then point the toe to fire that calf muscle up the back of the leg, and then flex. Pressing down with the leg as you pull the top of the foot back and point. Moving at the ankle joint to stretch the muscles up the back of the lower leg as well as up into the hamstring, behind the thigh, and we sit tall. See if you can feel which side felt a little tighter or looked like you got less range of motion. So that way you could possibly double up on that tighter side. One more with this left leg. And we'll switch sides. So left knee will bend, we'll extend that right leg, make any adjustments you need to your hips and your back. I'm going to go into that dorsiflex position. I'm going to walk my left foot out to the side just a little bit to make room, and then fold and curl, reaching out over that right leg, seeing if you can take hold of the foot or of the leg near the shin or the ankle to draw that foot back. And then that right leg is going to twist out from the hip. So if you were on a clock face, you'd go from 12 o'clock to 2 o'clock with that right leg. Coming back to 12, and then you could rotate in a little bit to 10 o'clock. Be mindful if you've had a joint replacement in the hip, internal rotation, turning the leg inward, is typically contraindicated for a replacement in the hip. So working that nice back and forth from 10 o'clock to 2 o'clock. Feeling the stretch along the foot all the way up the back of the leg. We'll do one more pass. And we'll sit up and change sides, bending that right knee, extending the left leg out. Take a moment to adjust the upper body, and then we'll curl and roll forward, stretching out over that leg, drawing the foot back towards the shin, towards the knee, feeling that lengthening coming up the leg as you press the leg down. And then the leg turns out, left leg always externally rotates towards 10 o'clock, back to center, and then internal rotation for the left leg turns into 2. Remembering that comment about joint replacements for the hip, no internal rotation, so you would just work from 12 to 10. Nice smooth movements as you twist that leg in the hip, making it about the movement of the leg and the hip. One more pass. And we'll curl up and restack. Let's take our legs straight, and we'll take our feet and our legs about mat width apart, sitting up nice and tall, rolling those shoulders back and down. The arms come to the front. We fold the mid-ribs as we bring chin to chest, forward, curl, and roll. Stretching out nice and long over the legs, taking hold of the feet or the legs as you can, and drawing the body forward, stretching out nice and long, holding in that nice deep stretch as you take that breath. And curling up, restacking the spine, sitting up nice and tall. We're going to tilt the hips back, sink back into that nice low rider position, and we're going to curl back. Only go as far as you can down to the floor. I'm going to go to just about mid-ribs and fold and curl, curling and rolling forward, stretching out nice and long. I'll walk my hips out a little bit to keep that stretch, lengthening the upper leg. Gliding the shoulders down, stretching the legs nice and long, finding that pivot at the ankle as you press the back of the legs to the floor. And we'll curl up, we'll restack, sitting up nice and tall, and hips tilt. Curling and rolling back once again along your mat. I'm going to go just to the shoulder blades, keeping that nice connection in the abdominals, that draw the abdominals, pelvic floor up and in, and then fold and curl. Finding that rounding through the low back, and reach and stretch forward. And again, I'm going to walk out the hips a little bit, so my hips are not too tucked under. I can feel that stretch of the upper hamstring, lengthening and stretching. One more breath, and then we'll sit tall. Lengthening the spine up towards the ceiling, stretching nice and tall. Let's bring the legs together at the center line, walking the hips out as needed so you're sitting nice and long up from the sit bones. Arms are going to come out to a T position. We're going to rotate to go palms up towards the ceiling. Extend and lengthen the back. And we're going to twist through the mid-ribs to the right. Twisting to the right, we pulse for 1, 2, back to center. We twist to the left for 1, 2. Moving from side to side, finding that nice rotation across the chest, through the mid-ribs, right there at the bra line. Drop the shoulders, stretch the arms longer, stretch the legs longer as you twist through the mid-ribs. One more each side. And we come to the front, arms reach forward, chin to chest, we forward fold and roll, stretching out nice and long over the legs. Draw the shoulders down, lengthen the neck, knitting the rib cage in, pulling your belly to your back. And we slowly restack, sitting up nice and tall, nice and long. We're going to cross our right leg, our right foot over our left. And we're going to wrap that left arm around the right knee. And we're going to twist back, looking back over that right shoulder, sitting up nice and tall, pressing that left leg down to the floor. One more breath, and slow to unwind. Changing sides. Right leg extends. We're going to cross that left leg over the right. Find that weight evenly in both sit bones. Wrap the right arm around the left leg, left knee, and we twist back. Extending the spine, sitting longer, stretching taller towards the ceiling. And slow to unwind. We'll take our feet and our legs mat width apart, reaching the arms out to a T position. We're going to rotate to the right. Left arm comes across, and we're going to rotate that right arm behind us to go palms up. We round and curl forward over that right leg, keeping the left hip weighted, trying to reach past that right foot, and then we extend the back, lengthen the spine. Sitting up nice and tall, we unwind to center. Upper body twists and rotates left. The right arm comes across. We reach back with that left arm, palm up towards the ceiling, round forward over that left leg. Weight the right hip. Reach past the left foot, and then extend the back. Feel the muscles along the spine strengthen as you stretch the spine forward and up, and we sit up, sit tall, back to center. Rotate to the right. Right arm behind you, palm up, left arm comes across. We round forward over that right leg and extend and straighten the back. Sitting up, sitting tall, we unwind and twist left. Finding that rotation, right arm comes across, reaching outside of that left foot, past the left foot if you can, and then extend. Flatten the back, lift the chest, staying hinged forward, and sitting up, sitting tall. One more each side. Pressing down through the back of the knees, pulling back with the foot, and switch. One more rotation to the left, and lengthen. Sitting up, sitting tall, unwinding. Arms come to the front. We're going to tilt the hips back, curl and roll back again, just to about the bra line, base of the shoulder blades. Holding here nice and strong. In that C curve, arms reach up on the inhale and down. Inhale, arms reach and lengthen overhead. Reaching stronger and longer with the arms, stretching out. And forward fold. Curling and rolling up. We curl and stretch forward over the legs, taking hold of the feet. Walk the hips out. And we stretch forward. Draw the top of the feet back towards the shin and the knees for that deeper calf stretch as you press the back of the knees down towards the floor. And we curl and restack. Sitting up nice and tall, nice and long. Arms come up overhead, fingers interlace. We reach up and over to the right. And back to center. Lengthen up and over to the left. And center. Finding that nice long line. Stretching the back towards the ceiling as the rib cage, the chest, the shoulders hinges to the side. One more, right and left. And arms come forward. We're going to bend the knees. Place the feet flat to the mat. And arms come forward. Hips tilt back. We're going to curl and roll back. You could stay with a flat back, working that hip hinge. Roll back as far as you'd like. Pausing for a breath. And then next exhale, we curl and roll back up. Rounding the back without shrugging the shoulders. And sitting up, sitting tall. Hips tilt. Drawing the abdominals up and in as we curl back. Nice and smooth, working that articulation. And we sit up, sit tall. Drop the feet and the legs into your butterfly stretch. Lengthening the spine as you sit up nice and tall, taking hold at the shins. We roll the shoulders back and down and we hinge forward. Nice flat back, proud chest as we drop the legs to the side. And slow as we sit up. Sitting up nice and tall, we lift the chest up towards the ceiling, finding that upper back extension. Dropping the head back, stretching through the front of the neck. And slow to reset. Coming back to that bent knee position, feet to the mat. We sit tall. Hands come back out to the front, reaching forward without the shoulders rolling forward. Nice and open through the chest, the collarbone. We hinge on the inhale, hinging back. And exhale, rise. Nice big belly breath on that inhale before you hinge. Co-contracting abdominals and back extensors as you hinge at the hip. One more. And once again, we drop into that butterfly pose, and we'll round the back this time, chin to chest. Forward fold. Walk the hands out past the feet. Reach out overhead, nice and long. And next exhale, we curl up. And we restack. Sitting and lengthening nice and long. We're going to cross our right foot, right leg underneath our left. Wrap it around to the outside of the hip and then take that left leg, cross it over the outside of the right. Reaching back with that left hand and arm, we wrap the right arm around that left knee Anchor the left hip as we twist and look back over that left shoulder. Stretching into the hip, we lengthen the spine, pulling the abdominals up and in. And slow to unwind. Uncrossing. We'll bring our right leg out. We're going to lace our left leg under the knee, around the outside of that right hip. Cross the right leg around the thigh of the left leg. We sit up, sit tall. Reach back with that right arm and wrap the left arm around that right knee and twist back. Looking back over that right shoulder. Sitting up taller as you lengthen the spine. Lifting the chest, dropping the shoulders down and back. And slow to unwind. We'll straighten the legs out. Dorsiflex at the ankle to pull the top of the foot back towards the shin as we sit nice and tall. We're going to bring our hands across the chest. We're going to twist through the midribs to the right and center. Twist to the left and center. Moving just through the midribs, making sure that the hips don't twist, the legs are not moving on your mat. Now as we twist to the right side, we're going to lean back and up. Twisting to the left, lean back and up. Slow to unwind. Make sure the legs don't move. There's no sliding of the legs along each other as you twist, as you hinge. Don't let your low back take over and add more movement to that rotational hinge. One more each side. And arms come forward. We round and stretch nice and long over the legs. One more breath. And slow to restack. Sitting up nice and tall, stretching long. We're going to bend the knees. We want to tuck back, sit back onto our pocket so there's a little bit of that pelvic tilt. We're going to roll the shoulders back and down. We're going to bring our right leg to tabletop. You can hold on to the back of the left thigh as much as you need to, and we're going to reach and extend that right leg out and draw it back. Lengthen and extend the back. Feel the back extensors with the abdominals firing as you send that right leg out nice and long. One more. And we'll switch. Left leg to tabletop. Take a moment to reset the back. And left leg extends on that inhale and exhale back. Last two. Feet to the mat, hands reach forward to the front, and we tilt and curl back. Curling back as far as you need to. You could go all the way across the shoulder blades. Try to keep that fold at the midribs so the lats don't take over. You keep that upper abdominal engagement. And then exhale, fold and curl. Come up almost all the way, pause, and curl back. Just to the base of the shoulder blades. and fold and curl. Almost all the way up and pause. And back. We're working these mini roll-ups. Sliding the shoulders down the back, keeping the neck nice and long. Last one. Rolling all the way up.